back in town. A creeper whose lives, a traitor and social secrets, he has absolutely no right to know. A metropolitan skyjacker taking hostage the stray Amelia Earharts, he prays out of emptiness. A modern vampire of emotion. Johnny Boy has arrived by powers unseen to change the course. Unnecessary evil in a dirty town of ruin. Directions. Skyscrapers amuse him. Just amuse him. Hits invite the taste of his special manipulations. Have you seen him? El loco cantinero of hyperventilated thoughts. Have you seen him? He arrived naked at the party trying to take his clothes and announce it. Oh yeah, man. I came to dance. He seduces the confused poet, the isolated lover, the struggling woman, the ambitious teacher. Johnny Boy dismisses and uses the tragedy of a comedian to ejaculate his venom. He performs on stage free of charge. Sparks fly from his steel-soled shoes, create icons of dignity, of impulse. Have you met him? 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 I have. He calls collect from way. He calls collect from way. Inside. In a 503 of 161st Street in the Bronx, Billy Zombie comes out the side of his neck, sells wolf tickets with glimmers that peel the insides of lesser cobras competing for strikes in the bush. Cubicle thoughts neatly arrange themselves in Billy's mind. Crime does not pay, at least not the way lesser children try to pull it off. Billy Zombie is a Dawn Patrol jammer from the Giddy Up. For him, Susie Sidewinder is heaven on earth. The pale full moon moans as Billy makes love to Susie, never with her, but through her. Susie's lust is to linger with him. Susie's lust is to rapture in chaos, being swept far away as Billy's vice fills her. The stars assert the sky and rush to fill her eyes as she lies while Billy pumps her lips up and down, all around with a circular motion, swallows her whole. She comes hard, sits straight up, in heated, repeated, succeeded, rushes off, ecstasy. Billy, you can crawl across my bed sheets on your eyebrows anytime, puppy. My man, you may be a bitch to others, but you're an angel in my eyes. Two caramel blackbirds singing little blue lies along the lazy side streets of a jungle gone mad. In between the sexing, Billy rides the loop, and night to night with Susie leave little pieces of themselves on the extreme highway, while pulling stick-ups, each one richer, bolder, brazen enough to rob the restaurant in the building they lived in, going back later for a late supper, acting shocked, no me diga, as the cantina owner spilt his drinks and woes, later picking up their check for his most valued and compassionate customers. Crime does not pay. At least not the way lesser children try to pull it off. Billy Zombie and Susie Sidewinder are two necessary evils in this part of God's little acre. For them, they're meant for the life. For without them, goodness would be a bland, indistinguishable routine. They apologize for nothing, resting safe in their convictions that crime does not pay. At least not the way I do. Eyes tongue a red haze of silver spikes and black velvet fury. A Catholic born on a rampage through hell. A New Age saint with a customized rosario who sweats benedictions as he rides her on an elevated rooftop with a pistol strapped to his back, each thrust setting off a bullet. Up between her legs, through her stomach, past her heart, coming out her lips, into his. A wild shot of cold-hearted lust as soot falls on them like soft black petals raining on both the living and the dead. A rogue dusky decker dancing on the edge of razors, he stalks runners with his boy Yo-Yo Montalvo and tries to find ways to avoid their own stalkers. Night bombers in silk shirts and $400 shoes, searching for keys broken off long ago and forgotten locks, searching for the great game and compromising every truth along the way. Forget about it, replaces doing the right thing, and he fades as a stand-up guy. Searching for a way in. He's been speeding so long, marking time, paying cops, burying partners, tricking queens, cruising shadows, whacking even priests. In dreams, reality cuts loose, avenues slice into boulevards. Brrr, Dodge City. He jumps into his third world club car, Rican a polo and reefer, and artillery strapped on every extremity. He's headed for a celebration. Yo-yo is spinning. Dead eyes, crazy glued on everything. A plastic mask for face. Fifth in one hand, and eight ball in the other. A new kind of pool game without a clue. On guard from what? Himself? He supposes, yo, let's go visit the savages in Brooklyn. But they never get past the border. He goes for a hit, takes a drink, forgets to steer, and bacading, rams the divider. The savages are in Brooklyn. They're trapped in the car. They're right here. They're us. La 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 la. It's fall in Brooklyn, 1963. My mother and father searched Dean Street and Hoyt for their wild child. A turquoise-dressed martyr and a drunken fallen angel, desperately driven by the tears of God. ¿Dónde está mi hijo? ¿Dónde está mi hijo? Que Dios lo protege. Where is my son? Where is my son? May God protect him. I've escaped from the world without so much as a by your leave. The first step as a runner in the great game. I'm aided by my babysitter son Richie, who borrows me for the afternoon, but doesn't say where we're going. Shh. Vente conmigo, cabal. Vente conmigo, cabal. Come with me. We climb ancient stairwells to an afternoon rent party, a Brooklyn Heights holiday. I spy Mommy and Poppy from the third floor window, and my silence cuts our umbilical cord as Richie, the Latino mod, plays his conspicuous blues. His hands detonate a jet black bomb of a grand piano, whose sound swims through the barren apartment, where the musical notes come like wave after wave after wave. I'm scared and fascinated. I taste my fingers sweet with caramels. Cherry blossom and almond scent of the freshly painted rooms settle on my 7-year-old body. I am seduced by the beauty of New Rican music. Richard returned me home late in the afternoon explaining as best a 17-year-old could that he had lost track of time. Richie, the Latino mod, had started time for me.
Beats and go.
I pray before the light of an atomic TV. Conspiracies echo test patterns that flash between us. We survive in purgatory. Souls adrift like the electric snow on my twilight screen. A Dolly dreamscape. Self-righteous terrorists, we treat fear as casually as lit Marlboros, inhaling desperate smoke and blowing out arrogant circles. Go-go boys who explode like microwave aluminum foil, like blood on punctured wrists anchored on cotton crosses in the deep dark black dirt of our self-pity, while Benzedrine-soaked hearts finger our chests and undo our shirt buttons with the speed of a star 69, long distance, yeah! We laugh at the spectacle, bound by the code of the great game. 1, we're all going to hell, well, except maybe you and me, and even I have been a whore. 2, corruption has existed since the days of Adam and Eve, and the 2 gorillas who came before them. 3, needs are absolute. 4, rain forgives tears, and thunder, brah, mass bullets. 5, the easiest way to achieve complete strategic surprise is to commit an act that makes no sense at all, or is even self-destructive. And 6, remember, we were vomited up by the same seed blown west of the Canary Islands, a place not named for wild birds, but for wild dogs. And as dogs, we mark our territory, guard each other, and roam to conquer, to conquer, to conquer. In La America, land of constitution, restitution, and prosperity. Faustus Green is an unbroken cowboy, in love with the open ranges, in love with her. Small town, one-legged dance hall girl known as Delilah Blue. A sensuous comet streaking across the sky mine, 22 Raven on her hip, blackjack on her pocketbook, a stiletto hidden by her little leg. The sun rises for Faustus every time Delilah's eyes open. She speaks, and his soul is filled. Delilah can figure out Faustus's little boy secrets with her spirit. They met in the Cascade Mountain Desert, but were far from being dry. On their first date, Faustus asked Delilah, "Yo, baby, how did you lose your leg?" She wryly said, "I grew tired of it. It weighed me down." Later, bathed in incense, candles, and the sticky, bittersweet smell of lovemaking, Faustus peeked inside Delilah's soul and witnessed a lifetime of breaking and resetting. A body that God did not quite complete, one leg shorter than the other, a spine that couldn't support her height, which rose above the turmoil. Past indiscretions came calling for Faustus and Delilah during a rum and cocaine-choked celebration of their first-year anniversary. Faustus found Delilah dazed on the bedroom floor, boozy sighs pouring from her lips into his ears. "Faustus, the pain is so bad, even my conscience hurts." Faustus knew he had to act and light a path for Delilah to escape and save himself. Delilah, who could always figure out Faustus's little boy secrets, acted.
That's right.
She walked into a First Federal Bank alone, made a 357 withdrawal, left Faustus a note, and flew back west. Faustus, thanks for the Star Spike Rodeo, puppy, but I've grown tired of it. It weighs me down. Faustus cried that night reading that note, but understood, because Delilah had shown him by her example, by her courage. Cut away the past, walk into the future. You see, you can't enjoy the light of reason unless you first experienced the dark night of the soul. I'm broke, B.
That's all right. I'm awesome.
Jesus is coming. Rolled May 5th and breakdancing on a cross near you. Lola Magdalena is never aboard. She spends her days making horizontal calculations along crooked streets of lights and shadows.
Possessed by an arrogant
ambition to read the mind of God.
There is a price
to pay.
Paying the toll. As she divides her time between chasing God and chasing the dragon. Combining lethal doses of horse beat with Cain, a perverse boy with Cain,
a perverse boy meets girl. The gravity of a situation bending the light of reason.
Cut off from others, oblivious of their opinions and prejudices, Lola remains a child at heart, asking the simplest of questions, but obsessed with the human equation.
How did God make the universe? How did God make it right?
How did God make it right?
How does 1 plus 1 equal 1? Solitude her choice, no one can take that from her. But as the temporal music of a solitude unfolds, so come the visions and the voices, and Lola listens and is transfixed. Lola, I was here before it started, and I will be here after the end. I am a hidden treasure that desires
and I will be here after the end.
Therefore I created you.
Desires to be known. Therefore I created you, the creation. In order to be known. Trust me. I walk with you. An interior illumination that allows Lola to see through her soul's eyes. Becomes messages and G-forces that energize the atmosphere about her. Becomes a deep well that she falls into, eagerly drinking from its waters and making a lasting moment out of a singular incident. Becomes a shrine that all have access to. Lola is exhausted. She lays down perfumed in stolen flowers and sodden lust. Rocked to sleep by the cadence of the elusive one's breath, words and breath. Word. Lola. Here's the secret. You have to know life. To recreate life. And one more thing. I love you. I love you all. I love you all.
What? You leaving? Okay, I'll tell you what, baby. No mas. No mas, all right? No mas. Here you go. Like, no mas even on this, all right? Just remember, no mas de esto, no mas de nada. And give me back the ring, man. Put the ring right here, baby. Put it right here. That's it. No mas para ti.